Hey guys, we are live again for part 3 of the video build, and this time we do have Brad with us. Brad, keep your camera off, but when you stop talking to your buddy and you want to say something, unmute yourself and you can actually talk. So we left off on part 3, and I'll have the link up there somewhere for part 2, and we'll keep going on part 3. Let me get the right window here so I can see what I'm doing and chat with you guys. Way too many little windows to deal with. Okay. So when we left off with this part. I finished all the front axle. So now we have to go to this part, 23, which is the link for the front axles. And I guess we're going to install it. So I have to find J. It's all into this bag, top camera, all into this bag, I believe. That's where all the links are. They're all plastic.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, cool. So again, this plastic is like very flexible. Shut off your camera, Brad.
Oh, I didn't know you want my camera shut down.
Yeah, just keep your audio on. That's good. Thanks. So this is very flexible plastic for the links and all that. So it should turn out pretty good.
Do you want your things to be somewhat, the links somewhat flexible, so they don't have too much torque done to them?
Yeah. So I need 8 for the front. 8 are the shorter ones. But usually the links, you got them in metal, but plastic also slides pretty good on rocks, so it should be good.
Oh yeah, trust me, you can buy aftermarkets if you ever want to in metal for that.
Yeah, well, I do have some, and I bought some, especially for the front steering link. I wanted to put the one I bought from GCM Racing, but I don't know where they are. So J5.
I think you're going to have fun on the whatchamacallits with this, on the course, not on the crawling, but through the woods.
Oh, I'm going to have fun with any RCs.
I guess you're pleasantly surprised with this kit.
Yeah, I like the quality and what they've done with it. That's for sure. It's I'm pleased with it. It's better. I think the quality of it is better than the CC-01.
CC-01 isn't bad, and it's a fun car to drive.
Well, it is an older technology. It's been around for a few years now. So
decades, actually. It's been around almost 30 years. I had it when it first came out.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Now this one for geometry and things like that, it's a little bit better. Some people are complaining, saying, why did you get rid of the IFS in front? I think it's a good idea to have the 2 axles, just because everybody else has the 2 axles. So they wanted to bring out a truck that could be the same as everybody else. So now I'm going to insert those little stupid balls into there.
Hey, well, you said you saw someone taking the CC-01 and actually doing an admirable job on the trails with it or whatever.
Yep. No, he did pretty good. He was following all the SCX-10 3, SCX-10 2. He was following everybody.
And it was funny. He gets into tighter spots too. He can turn more. He can get into smaller areas that need to have clearance issues. I mean, in the sense of turning into a small space because of the short wheelbase on it.
Yeah, but the short wheelbase were also making his life more complicated.
Hey, more challenge.
Yeah. And there's
You make
nothing
that
wrong
look
with more
easy.
challenge.
You make that look easy, then you know something's right.
Our RC Recreation is back into the chat, and I can't wait to see what he's doing with his Cloudbuster.
I thought you said he was painting it box art, but I thought he said something different.
No, he's not painting it box art. I think he's gonna do something different with it.
He said a two-tone.
I'm not gonna paint it box art either for this truck. I'm gonna go with something different. So
I think he said he was two-toning it, but he was using all the decals from it.
okay. So here I cut my G8 and my J5, J8 and J5. I've inserted the little balls. Now I gotta find some 4 of the 12 millimeters. I believe these are it. Yes. So I need 4 of those.
I think you like the two-tone plastic on it. Two-tone colored. Because you said you like the two-tone colored plastic.
No, I said I like it that they've used a different type of plastic.
Yeah.
For the transmission, because I think this one is more durable and less flexible, especially for the gears and transfer case. You don't want that to actually twist. But the rest, you do want a little bit of flex into that, and it's a softer plastic. To me, it makes sense.
Is the plastic kind of harder? What about the plastic that the diffs are made out of? Is there seem any different?
The plastic in the diffs.
That plastic's that the diffs sit in.
It's okay. It's actually sitting and balance on the bearings, so it's the diff is not torquing or doing anything in there, because you do have a bearing here, bearing there, and everything is holding it, so that diff is not touching the plastic.
There's 5 bearings in there, I think, for the way you just said it.
There, well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for this one. Yes.
Yeah, 5 bearings. And that means another 5 on the other side.
You're good in math. Wow.
No, I'm not. I'm not actually really good at math. I used to be. I wish I would have learned more math.
Out just like that. 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. That's 10.
I'm sure you know a lot more math than I do.
RC Recreation says, I followed box art with patterns and decals, but different color.
So the decals. So he said he was gonna use the stock decals for the car regardless.
Okay.
That's what he made it sound. Am I right, Rec?
I'll tell you when he replies. Because I know you don't have the
Yeah.
the chat. So like when I was installing these, I find it kind of interesting that they've really went on an angle. So these are actually, like, if I clip that, you can actually see that they've done the carrier on an angle and not straight like most trucks actually are. So that I kind of find interesting.
Maybe they want some side loadability or something.
Well, most people, they rely on the ball to give you the angle,
Yeah.
but them, they've actually made the carrier on an angle. So everything else is straighter and truer.
They probably looked under the underside of that of Mercedes if they wanted to do it. Maybe they're trying to make it exactly like that
Don't know.
from the real car.
Yeah, but a real Mercedes, I think, does not have a stiff axle in the front. I think they do have IFS in the front.
Oh yeah, now they do, but this one's based after the Model 1 before it. Even though the body even though the body is the new one, which was a mistake. They should have used the older body for this with the 2 live axles. Yeah, the new one has an IFS up front. They're thinking of making an electric one soon.
Well, the Tamiya is an electric one.
You know what I mean? And the actual vehicle.
Maybe they should put Tamiya on the truck.
Have them. Hey, how do we? How should we do this? And I bet you it'll be fast, even though it'll be a real heavy vehicle. I mean, they've gotten these things to fly. I mean, for their size, they're getting into 4 seconds, 0 to 60. I mean, a vehicle this big.
I just realized something. This is the front axle, and they're actually putting 4 links and no panhard. It's interesting. How come everybody else goes with a panhard, but they've went with this? So is this going to cause issues with the steering because of there's no panhard? So in other words, am I going to get bump steer? Because usually the panhard stops you from having bump steer. I just realized that. I guess time will tell. Maybe there's an upgrade for it.
Oh, I'm sure there's an upgrade, Frank. Believe it or not, I think the upgrades are coming left and right for this car now.
When I ordered this car, I've ordered all the upgrades metal parts for it, a bunch of different parts anyways that came out for upgrades. So I never got them. I never seen them. So I'm still waiting for them.
Wow, all these years.
Yep. I think the distributor actually forgot about them.
Well, you'll find them again. I'm sure you knew what you wanted.
Yeah. I can look in the messages. Or maybe the store did get them, but never called me back to tell me that they were in. Don't know. Make sure I line it up so the screw go in the hole. One thing that's a little tougher with this is that you got to screw it in here because it's not threaded, and then you got to match it in the hole and then thread it on the other side because there's no thread at all. So as you go, you got to make the threads on both sides. But the plastic is nice and soft, so it's easy to put it through.
That's a Tamiya screwdriver?
That is a Tamiya screwdriver. It's a nice fit, snug.
No screwing on no screwing up the heads.
Nope. There we go. All links. All links are done. And I did go through at the beginning of the video saying I went with a servo in the front that's actually going to be laid down this way and not standing up. And I said the reason why at the beginning. So let's go to the manual. So I've installed this. I've installed that on the bottom.
Look at how they try to strengthen the plastic with the things. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, and it makes it truer to life. It looks nice and it looks scale. And it takes weight off of it. So now they want me to attach a drive shaft. How the heck do I do that?
You got a lot of grub screws, or is that just a pin?
It's a grub screw with a pin. So there's some brass bushings.
Only good for weight.
Yeah, they're so small. I don't think there's a lot of weight on this. So
That's the only bushings I keep from them is the brass ones.
Mhm. The only one that are way more worth money.
Yes.
Yes. Where's my wrench? Tools keeps running away. Nice fit for the drive shaft, that's for sure. Gotta make sure I screw this in front of the camera so everybody sees.
And they have telescoping drive shafts, so you can change the wheelbase on it.
Yeah. And I did show when I was doing the clips here that I put it here, but see there's another hole here, so you can actually put it there or bring it in and bring it in.
That's then that means that shows that you can put a CC-01 body on it.
Yeah, it just shortens the
Yeah.
wheelbase a lot. Either you shorten the front or the rear or both or just one. So you can play with the wheelbase a little bit and your drive shaft should be able to follow. And your bottom link hooks here and your top link hooks there. So
It's nice that you can actually with the same drive shafts without buying new ones to fit it.
So drive shaft is installed. Brian Taff is back. Grub pin. It's both. Yeah, true. It's called a grub pin. JMRC's there. John Martin, if you want to come in, I can send you an invite. I only sent one to Brad today. The other day I sent it to everybody. So if you do want to get in here, let me know. But I know you might be at work unless you're back now. So let's go finish this manual here. So now we start with the other axle.
Oh, you said you had 45 steps, actually. You got 20 more steps to do.
Yeah, I think that's what the manual said or originally.
Yeah.
So
there's still tons of tons of steps.
Oh, there's a lot of little tiny parts all over the place.
Yeah.
So, but we're moving along pretty nicely right now. So I'll put this axle away and we'll start working on this one.
I'm starting to see that this kit is not a starter kit. This is a pretty advanced kit.
Well, the instruction, it's a Tamiya kit. The instruction are fairly easy if you follow them. There is a lot of little tiny parts all over the place, and actually places where you insert a nut, like front and rear here, you have to insert nuts. It's kind of weird and awkward.
That's why I say it's not a beginner kit. There's a lot of little things in it.
Well, beginner, I guess, but you pay attention, you're beginner or not beginner, you can do this kit. Okay, that's there.
You're already making a map in your head on this car.
Okay, so with this, I have to put a C-clip. And another C-clip. So is the weather better where you are today, Brad? I know at my place
it's hot and humid right now. They expect to have some rain later, I guess, but it's not looking that way right now.
Yeah,
But
the heat has broken here, so it's a little cooler here, which is better. But
we won't get some cool down until next week.
oh yeah,
yeah.
We actually opened up the doors and windows here. Let some fresh air in. So,
God, you had an easy time with those clips. They're not flying anywhere.
Of course not. Just notice they want me to put some C14, those little tiny bushings. and they're on the outside. C14. And then on the inside, I got one bearing on this side. So there's one bearing on this side of the C-clip. And then bushing, bearing, bushing. So I got to find those C14 and I need 4 of them.
I thought you had ball bearings for that part too.
Oh, I got bearings. I got bearings, but it's beside the bushing here. See, there's a bushing here and a bushing there and the bearing in between.
I thought that would be not a bushing. I thought they would have been ball bearings too.
Well, I don't call that a bushing. I call that more of a spacer. So that was C14. And I need 4 of those. C14. Make sure it's nice and clean. You do have a flat edge to it, so even if it does have a little bit of a thing, it doesn't matter too much. Okay. So they do want you to grease it up a little bit, but like I mentioned earlier, because I'm putting a bearing, I don't care too much about the grease on this side, but I will put one. And then we have a little spacer. So see, the bearing is right in between, and basically this is going to be in the axle, and these are just acting as bushing, as not a bushing, but a spacer. And I do have another C-clip to put at the end of it. That one's going to be a little bit more temperamental to put. Come on.
Hope it doesn't fly out.
I hope so. Ah, darn, it didn't.
You want that not to do that.
Yeah, John Martin's at work, so it's all good, John. You have a good time at work. Get off YouTube. Get back to work. Bump. 91. Feels like 95. Wow.
It was supposed to be 92 here today, I think.
Well, you're pretty close to where John is, so you must be getting pretty close to same temperature.
Yeah.
So there we go. That part is done. Oh, I got to put a bearing at the end. And another bearing at this end. Let's go see the instruction. See, now I can show you the instruction better today. Yeah, the other day I couldn't. So basically I did this. I put one pin here, put a little bit of grease, spacer, bearing, spacer, and then another pin. So now we drop everything in there.
How many millimeters do you think the shafts are for the diffs?
What do you mean? I don't understand your question.
They're in roundness. You know, are they pretty thick?
How thick these shafts are?
Yeah.
Why do you ask me these questions? No, I have to take this guy out.
Oh, sorry. Because I want to compare it to what goes in the back of my two-wheel drives.
Oh, okay. 5 millimeter.
I have a feeling mine are thicker than that. I'm surprised. I thought they'd use thick ones in there.
Oh no, they're gonna break. Okay. So they want the pin side to be on that side, which is okay. So they have a pin together, and that's what I was mentioning. These have a pin together, and they actually marry together. So one
has a hole in it.
Yeah, one has a pin, one has a hole. And what I like about these is that they're pretty, there's no loose coming this way, so everything is nice and snug. So now I just got to make sure everything drops in there at the right place. Find out where the bearing goes. Go there. There we go.
Look how pretty the lock diff piece is.
Oh yeah.
Hey, they gave you
know
metal
what?
where they need it.
I'm gonna have to take the other one apart.
Why?
I didn't put grease in here.
Oh,
I just realized that I didn't put grease on the other one. I'm gonna have to take it apart, split it up, and take it apart. Oh, well. That's because you weren't there to tell me.
Someone should have told you in the chat.
Yeah, I know.
That would be a no-brainer. Doesn't matter if you not build one or not.
I was just chatting, or maybe it was because Paul, when Paul was talking, maybe he was bothering me. I don't know. The guy, when he was saying I was boring, I don't know.
Oh, that was bothering you.
I'll just blame it on that. That's it. But hey, I could have kept quiet, not mention it, and do it quietly. But everything is good. Hot and humid and nasty. It's hot and humid and nasty here right now. Well, downstairs. Upstairs it's not that bad. So put a bearing in there. Let's put a little bit of grease. Make Brad happy.
Make the kid happy.
And put a little tiny bearing in there.
What do you think of the milling ability of the milling of the metal pieces?
They're not bad, but these are actually cast. They're not milled. This one will put grease. Maybe I can put grease in the other one without opening it. I'll have to check if there's a hole or somewhere I can actually put it.
Well, there could be good quality cast parts.
Could be. So this one, do I have to drop little tiny screws in there? That's the question.
No.
Back to the instruction. So this one I have 2 on each side. And see, I have to drop them and make sure that the tip is pointing up like this.
Yeah.
So I have to drop 4 of them all the way around.
That's a tiny little pieces.
That is one thing with this kit, is there's a lot of tiny pieces compared to the CC-01. This has a heck of a lot more parts. It's not the same at all, and it's kind of cool the way they've done the chassis, but it's a completely different beast.
I always thought when I first put the CC-01 together, I thought that cone gear was cool. You know, the big cone gear up front.
Okay.
It's cone shaped at the top, and it's on the long side. Yeah.
This is not sitting right. I think it is. There it goes. Making it sit at the right place, that's the challenge place part. It's making it fall right where it's supposed to go. There, I got it, Brad. Don't breathe. Okay, so that's done. I can put the cap on. Dum, 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 dum. Boom. Wasn't a proddy.
it moving all right?
Yep. Seems to be okay. It's kind of weird that you see the C-clip on the outside. That's okay. So I need a 20mm screw, and this is the 20mm. And I need how many 12mm? Let me get my other one, my other manual. So, like I was showing them earlier, is if you take your manual like this, you can put your screw right on top of it, and it actually matches the length of the screw. So that's one way to see if you have exactly the right screw.
Yeah, everything's to size, which is nice.
Yeah, everything's to scale. So I need 8 of these 12mm. So put that one there, that one there. 4. These are longer. Should have one more somewhere. Another short one. 2, 4, 6. No, 6 of them. I had 7. Okay. 2, 4, 6. Okay. All good. 4 of these. 1 of these. One of them. Oh yeah, I did use one.
Those little nuts, those look like they reinforced it inside the plastic.
They're actually to install these ball heads. There's little tiny ball heads. And I'll show you later. They're to screw those. It's for the shocks where you actually install the shocks.
I thought it could also add to the rigidity of the plastic, where it has a less stress point, where the metal will take it before the plastic breaks.
Yeah, and that's for the shock. So when it gives a hit, like the shock is going to be way stronger attached to that than if it was directly in the plastic.
Like I said, it reinforced the diff housing.
So that is okay. Metal bearing. Okay, yes, I did. They call it a bearing, but it's a bushing, which I've used a small one, so I'm okay with that one. Okay, so I can screw that in there. Take the long screw and come here. Hey, Sean, RC, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in here. If you want to come here and chit chat with us, like we're working here, I can send you a link to join in Zoom, and you can talk with Brad and me. You don't have to be on video. You can keep your camera off, just like Brad is, and you can come here and chit chat with us. Right, Brad?
Yes. It's been a long time since we've talked to him with hearing his voice.
Oh no, I've heard his voice yesterday.
Only in his videos, but not
in a
chat. Yeah. Not in his chats. He was impressed with my fighter buggy. He says it doesn't bounce like any hoppers stuff. It doesn't really bounce that much because of the way it moves around and the oil filled dampers.
Okay.
It keeps the bounce down to a level that you're not worried about.
Hey, player one, how you doing? Shade trees in there. RC Recreation is there also.
Too bad Jessica's in there smoking her cigar.
Yeah, I was surprised with her yesterday.
Yeah, I was too. But cool. She's like one of the guys though.
Yeah. That was cool. Hopefully she can make it next week and talk about other things. But she's got a lot of older trucks or older racers.
Big older electronics.
But she's got new monster truck, which is cool.
Yeah. And she works on one-to-ones.
Yes.
In some men's minds, that's a woman after your own heart.
Player one custom fizz on IG is actually Guru. So player one is Guru. Cool. How you doing? That's probably his other channel. He's probably got a gaming channel. Player One. There we go. It's done on that. My screwdriver, it has grease on it. It's slippery.
I wonder how much that screwdriver cost you.
I can't remember.
They're not cheap.
Okay, C15, C16, 18, 17 again. So I know where they are. We'll go get them. And on that side, there's a little tiny screw. We'll find that one.
Wow, that diff housing's interesting, how it's put together.
Oh, it's his t-shirt custom t-shirt business that he's got, that Player One. Cool. So these are the parts I need. So we'll start with 15, 16 first. Like I was mentioning on the other one, Brad, when I cut a piece that is two numbers different, I usually like put 15 on this side and I'll put 16 on this side. So like that, I know, and I don't cut 17, 18 off because I'm not ready for it yet. Because I don't want to get them confused. So now we're going to install this one, and I know because I'm holding it this way and 15's on that side, 15 goes over here.
That's the link that holds the shocks.
No, that's it holds the link, not the
Oh, it
shock.
holds the link. Oh, it holds the link.
Yeah. So here I need some 15 millimeter. These are these ones, and I need 8 of them. 2, 4, 6. There's out 2 more. And 8. What RC is Brad working on? Brad is working on which one are you fixing the diff, Brad?
Oh, I usually try to do work with it when he's around, my friend. It's the Grasshopper 2 Black Edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I messed up the pinion gear, slipped off the shaft of the motor and chewed up my counter gear, so I had to buy a new counter gear.
Yeah, we don't know why the shaft slipped off. Right?
The pinion slipped off, right? And
it slipped off, but we don't know what that reason is.
No, and the pinion and the grub screw came with Loctite on it.
Okay. So you didn't bother putting new Loctite on it. You just relied on the Loctite that was on it.
Yes.
Okay.
They put it there for something to take up space, I guess.
It could be.
I think it was an RPM, or I forgot what person. I don't think it was RPM. It was another company that's well known who makes parts for cars. Who made the pinion? It wasn't a Traxxas pinion because I couldn't get. They didn't have any 19 tooths for me.
Okay. Thank you, Guru. Guru's saying to everybody hit the thumbs up button. I am yet to see Brad with an RC, LOL. Well, if you go on his channel, you'll see him playing with his Grasshopper and playing with a whole bunch of them.
A bunch of different vehicles. I have other things besides Tamiya's.
Yeah, but he doesn't fix them in live video. Mind you, one time in my live, you did fix one.
Yeah, it was my fighter buggy I was putting together.
Yeah. So,
I wish I could convince Shen to buy one, and I know where he could get it. I think there's one left at the guy I bought it from.
So I did this part. I am going to do this part, but before I do that, before I do that, we'll install these little guys, which is the ball end. Here's a ball Here's another bottle. And here's a little tiny 3mm screw, and that's a small 3mm screw. It's a 3mm by 4mm. So what I was saying earlier, I like these because it goes into this plastic a little bit, but then it goes into that nut that we actually installed a little while ago in there. So it makes it really strong.
Something that made sense.
Yep. Shen RC says, always use Loctite. Those blue dry glob don't work well.
Well, I'll know that now. But I used it today with the other grub screw that I put in there instead.
Okay. Did you put Loctite?
Yes.
So is it all fixed now? Your buddy fixed it, or did you?
No, I fixed it. He works on he's still working on his Spider Buggy RX. I think he needs a few more electronic pieces.
Okay.
Or what? He has one too, and he got it from the guy in Quebec too. And Shen, if you're interested in getting the one with Fighter Buggy RX, which I don't think you're going to say you're going to, but I know a guy who has it in Quebec you can get it from.
Yeah, because
if he hasn't sold it
in the US, they're not available.
They're not available anymore because it was a limited production.
Yeah.
If you like the way my car drives and it's a hopper, that's something you'd like to experience. I got a way to help you.
There we go. That's installed. So now we're gonna install C18 and 17. But because they want me to put 17 on this side, I'm now going to put 17 on this side. And 18 on that side, because they want me to put 18 on that side.
Wow, it's amazing how involved the diff housing is and everything.
Mm-hmm. I got to flip it around.
Even the things you're not going to hardly see are very detailed.
Okay.
But you know what I mean, Frank?
No.
How it's to scale and stuff, and how they made intricate the diff housings and everything.
Yeah, that's true. Brian Taft says Brad is on his phone and cannot see the chat. That is true. I'm trying to read the chat to make sure he gets it. Shade 3 RC, I don't think Brad can see the post here. What did Shade 3 say? If you don't let Loctite set, it's the same as not using any. That's true. So once you put it on and when it is wet, you put it on, but you can't run your car right away. You gotta make sure you let the Loctite dry for a few hours before actually using your car, because it will.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't quite do it. I just ran a bit of power through it just to make sure it sounded right, and then I stopped.
Yeah, that's okay, but you can't like go bash with it and things like that.
Oh, the car's not together, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay. I screwed up. I put this one backward. I'm gonna have to take it apart.
I'm sure you're gonna have quite a few of them mess ups, Frank.
I just noticed. They do have one part that's like in an angle and the other one isn't. It's straighter. And I notice on the picture, it actually shows you kind of. But those are the little tiny details that you do have to look out for sometimes. Is basically look at the picture. And I was showing that to my son when we were building the CC-01.
RC Kicks made this kit before a while back. He likes it a lot. He beats the hell out of it. And it keeps going.
Okay. Shade Tree says he knew that you had a couple of Tamiyas, but he just never seen them.
Well, if you watch my videos, you'll see them. I actually have 4 Tamiyas. I'm only working, and the Grasshopper 2 is the only one left to be fully built.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check the other one. I might have screwed up on the other one too. But we'll soon see. Wow, it's already 5 o'clock. Man, time just flies.
You're gonna do this till 6, I assume.
Yeah, close to 6, yeah. Then I gotta go upstairs to eat.
And be with your wife.
Then we're gonna continue watching Star Wars tonight.
Which one are you on?
Well, I started with the number 1 with my son because he never seen them all. So we started 1, 2, 3, and then we watched Solo, and then we watched Red One,
And then you went into the 4th one.
and now we're at the 4th one.
Yeah, all those were before that.
Yes. So trying to watch them in order. So
You did it in logical order too, how they were all prequels.
yeah. So here they show that there's kind of an angle here, and it's straight, and then it goes on an angle. So they wanted the straight angle in the front, which I've done. But in this one, it's completely reversed. The straight one had to be at the back, which I've done, which is kind of odd. But I've done it like the manual. I'll show you on the manual.
Does it feel like you got some weight in the axle?
Yeah, just like the other one. So here you can see that this is straight and then an angle here. So they want the straight to be where the Driveshaft is. But on this one, it's on an angle here and it's straight at that, and that's at the back. So it's done like that now. So the next step is actually putting the links on there. So I need 4 of those screws and a whole bunch of these guys. I need 8 of these.
The little pillow balls.
That's what you call them?
That's what I would call them. They're a little bit of, they're not like the pillow balls you're used to, like it's in the other parts of the suspension, but they're pillow balls. So there's some type of movement and articulation at the top and the bottom of the shafts of the shock.
This is weird. I don't have enough. I cut one and put one somewhere I wasn't supposed to. I should have some off other kits, but I find it weird that I don't have 8 of them. I have 7 of them.
Did you have any in the other one?
As far as I know, I installed them all. 2, 4, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 8 of them. That's weird. Is there another one on the other one? Nope, it's all gone.
Uh-oh.
That's weird.
What are you gonna do, Frank?
My other stash of other stuff that I have.
And you have some of those things.
Oh, I do. I have other kits and I have leftovers of other stuff and
Of those little pillow balls?
yeah. I'm just looking at my. I have a metal one here.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
Here's a plastic one.
Okay. It's your choice between one of them being metal or the plastic. Now you have 8. 9.
9. Yeah.
9. could always replace them with the metal ones eventually.
Yeah, put them all metals.
Yep.
Just looking at my other stash or my other drawer. Okay. So let's find the links.
It wasn't a total freak out problem.
Well, I find it weird that I'm missing one. If somebody was building another kit, I don't know if I did a boo-boo or used something I wasn't supposed to somewhere else. I don't know. But everything is fine now. Shade Tree RC says, I shall. And I think he's talking about go watch your videos.
Oh, me?
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Gonna go watch your videos. His videos are under YouTube under Brad Kalman. RC Mass Master says, peace, smiley face with shades, black flag, and hi, everyone.
Hello.
Black flag stand for?
Uh-oh, it's starting to rain.
Oh,
And it doesn't even look that dark out.
I know.
Really weird. How many people in the chat don't have any not Tamiyas, but shelf queens? How many do not have shelf queens?
Another word, they have an RC that they don't run.
Yep.
Don't know. That's a good question.
I'm finding more and more people. There's no shelf queens here. And I hate when people say they have shelf queens. It makes me mad.
Well, I run all of mine, except I don't run them often enough. Like my dragster, I haven't taken that thing out in 2 years now. And I want to take it out this year. I want to go to a drag race and I want to take it out. And I want to drag race against people.
It'd be even cool to actually run it on an actual drag track and see what it does.
Yes, and that's what I want to do.
In an actual quarter.
No, not an actual quarter, but I mean, I want to take it on to a 1/10 quarter mile and race against other people that have drag cars to see how it actually stacks up versus them.
I know that brush motor has probably got a lot of torque in it.
Oh yeah.
And it's high speed.
So 12 millimeter. Make sure I have the right one. Pretty sure I do. Oh, that looks long. These actually look long. I got to take the shorter ones, which are these guys. See, I was using the 14 millimeter.
You know, you may actually start something if you show people dragging that car. People want to go to have a funny car class.
Maybe. But that's the biggest problem is starting a class and making sure everybody has enough of the same car to actually drag race against it, because for no prep I can't compete because mine does not have rubber tires and foam insert. My tires are all foam.
Yeah. You probably start a class of people had a lot of old ones lying around because that's an old one.
Yep. So,
but if people started seeing people using the old funny cars, maybe someone will start making them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one goes on this side. Hey, Brad, we're going to install them on the chassis soon. And then we can build some shocks.
Yep. I can't believe it comes with red shock oil. I can't believe it's less thick than the stuff that comes in my other cars.
Hey, Guru's in here.
He changed his other platform.
Guru says he has one shelf queen.
And what is that?
I don't know. What do you have a shelf queen, Guru?
You shouldn't have a shelf queen, man. You should be driving all of them. I even drive my toys. I mean, I get around them as much as often, but I drive them. They don't. I still find time to play with them.
Shenzar C, he says he only has one, but it was ran, but now it sits on the shelf because I have two of them, and all his RCs are used.
Well, he should sell one of them then.
Yeah, it's just like me. I always had one of each. Just last year, I had two Traxxas 1/16 Mini Revo. And then one of my buddies was looking for one, so I sold it to him. And
yeah, Shen, you should sell one of the doubles you have, and call the guy in Quebec. I'll give you his number if you're interested, and buy Fighter Buggy RX Memorial Edition. Hopefully he still has one kit left.
RC Master says you was all saying how durable Tamiyas are at the skate park in the chat, and straight after that I watched a video of a lunchbox breaking at a skate park. I can see a lunchbox breaking at the skate park because the way the nature of the truck or the monster truck, how it is. But take a TT01 or a TT02 at the skate park, and let me tell you, they are durable because everything is protected. The wheels are protected. The shell is protecting everything. So I can see how a lunchbox would break for the simple reason as the tires are so huge and big. Take any type of monster truck at a skate park and give it some air. They're not meant to go that high in the air. They would break.
You must have been watching the RC so-and-so. He had some outtakes, and that happened to one of the cars.
Okay.
But it didn't happen to both of them because there were two of them running on it.
Don't know.
And I just left him a message saying I wouldn't take any of my cars to any skate park. I don't care what vehicles they are.
Oh yeah.
I told him that.
That's to all their choice, but I
Yeah.
have no problem. I have no problem taking some of them at the skate park. Like I will not take. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking I will take my 64 to the skate park. But I can take it to the skate park and do cool thing with it without sending it in the air.
You could send it up a ramp and not.
Yeah.
But not to make it. I don't want to. To me, going to a skate park is asking for trouble that you don't need to be asking for.
Yeah, but you can be smart about it. You don't have to send it up in the air. Yes, it's fun, but you can bring in a car that actually meant to go up in the air. You can actually bring that.
Well, I've seen some of those break into pieces doing that.
Yeah, but the fun part is fixing them.
I look at it this way: I don't have the money to take those risks.
So RC Master says that's exactly what it was saying. That he says that's basically what I was saying in the live chat, and everyone was disagreeing with me.
I do watch a Master. Watch Stuart Mack. He does speed runs with Tamiyas. And
yeah, we're talking about bringing them to the skate park.
Oh, I know, but if he wants to see something durable, not breaking that badly at over 100 miles an hour, then you know it's durable.
Well, any RC cars going 100 mile an hour and you crash it is pretty much gonna break something.
I've seen what he's crashed at high speeds and with some of them, and the damage I saw was minor.
Okay, so that's done. So I've actually done these. Attach those, clip those on. Now I got to attach the drive shaft onto it. Then we attach it to the.
I wonder if you could get a metal drive shaft that's a telescoping like that.
Yeah, there is some.
I mean, if you wanted to do an upgrade and still wanted to have the ability to make it a shorter wheelbase, that's what you do.
Shen's RC says maybe a DT-02 or DT-03 can bash a bit at the skate park. Now a DT, what's a DT again?
There's DT-01s and the DT-02s and the DT-03s. They're all buggies.
They're buggies, okay.
The DT-01 is the more advanced type of hopper. Like my fighter buggy is a DT-01.
Well, Tamiyas can't get much air anyways. That's basically because they're light. There are very light cars, and to send a car up in the air, you need momentum. But since it's a very light car, it won't go far. Try throwing a feather as far as you can, or a small rock or something that's light. Try to throw it as hard as you can, and then try to pick up something that's heavier and throw that. You'll see. And I find some cars, because they're lighter, you can't get as much air. That's why those X-Max and those other truck, they can get so high. It's because they're heavy and they got the traction and the momentum to bring you up there. Because even if I put a 5-turn on a TT-01 or a TT-02, it's all about momentum and how much air you can get and how big that thing is going to be. It's, to me, it's like throw a feather in the air and see how far it goes, and throw a rock in the air. So
you go for a Tamiya for personality and character. That is the reason to buy their cars. Because they add a different element to running them.
Yeah, they do have a scale look for them and things like that. Yes, they are not. They're not a Traxxas. They're not meant to do what they do, but they look so much better than a Traxxas.
And at least Tamiya keeps bringing out new chassis more often too.
Yeah, but once in a while they come out with a new chassis, but they haven't in a long time. They've come up with changes and things like that. Like the CC-02 is a new chassis.
I wonder what a CC-03 will look like. I assume they'll eventually make one. I mean, they've had FF01s, FF02s, FF03s.
Mm-hmm.
And the one constant in both those different chassis of the front wheel drive sedans is that they all come with ball diffs.
Yep. Shen RC, if you want, send me an email. You can come here and chat with us, just voice. The tankrc@gmail. I'll go see right now if I do have emails. No emails. So the tankrc@gmail.com, and I can bring you in here with us. Bring the chat back, bring all my little windows. Okay, so now we install everything. So front, oh, that's not the right page.
You're able to do that pretty seamlessly now.
Attaching front axle.
It's like on video editing right there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, live video editing, kind of, yes.
Because you're able to switch to the directions and then you see you putting it together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 15mm screws that I need now to actually attach these, and those are the longer ones that I saw earlier.
I can't believe they have 20 millimeters on this.
Yep.
Those are some long screws I've never seen in a kit from them,
So let me change camera again.
except for the ones that hold my motors. But it sounds like you got more than just that.
Need 4 of these. And they're going to attach to the links here on the bottom. And all the angles are going back, so I should be good. So here, when you attach the drive shaft, first thing you got to look at to make sure that you are in phase, like I was talking at the beginning of the other video when I built these drive shaft. So you have to make sure that, like I see a little white dot here, that I put the white dot here on top also. So
Oh, you got to match it up?
Yeah, so you're matching your drive shaft, so the bottom one is exactly the same thing, and that becomes your drive shaft will now be what's called in phase. So we'll put that on that side and hook up the bottom link, but we're upside down, so it's actually the top link.
I bet you wish you would have got to this kit sooner.
No,
I thought.
no regrets. I get to it when I get to it. There's
And you had,
that has priorities.
I guess the more curiosity got to you, so I might as well build it.
Sure. 15mm, man, this is a long friggin' screw to go in there. There, done. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the paint job. Wonder if I should call this.
Are you going to use the decals for the windows, or are you painting those?
I will probably tint the windows.
No, what I meant is that the a lot of the black things that you see, those little stripes, those are for the window frames.
No, I'll paint them. I will paint the black around the windows and things like that. I do have a trick for that. So I will not use the surrounding window black thing.
Yeah, it's amazing how this kit had so many decals for it.
Oh yeah, showed that at the beginning at the unboxing.
Yeah, well, if your paint starts scraping out in those areas, you could always put that in there to replace paint it. You can always put that on there instead.
See you later, Shen. Thanks for dropping by. Shen says he's leaving.
I'm trying to convince him to get a fighter buggy RX.
Oh, yeah. Guru says he's pacing the floor now, waiting for his Capra to come in.
You don't hear too much about the Capras anymore.
Some people are trying to get them or getting them.
Where's that thing? Well, a year and a half old, that model Capra.
Oh yeah, something like that. Oh, look at that! I got flex. A little short on.
How's that feel? How's that feel without the shocks?
It feels okay. It doesn't feel like a lot of flex, but could be more flex. But I'm just wondering why it's not flexing more. I guess it's the way the links are made. Yeah. So if I change these links to different type of links, I might be able to get more flex, because right now I'm binding right here. Because the plastic is thick, it's so thick.
Well, you're gonna try it stock before you do anything. I know that.
Oh yeah.
This is a kit you're willing to actually modify to see what you can get it out of it.
I'll run it first and then we'll modify it after. Okay, 4 screws. And we'll attach this other one. Where is the axle? It ran away on me. Brad, where's my axle? Oh, I found it.
The black, that back one. In phase again.
Yep. So this little dot is there, and this little dot is there. So they're lining up.
Just imagine all the hard bodies from Tamiya, from the CC-01 that may be out there that you could fit on this.
Well, I want to find another CC-01 body to put on my CC-01 so I can take it on the trail, because I'm afraid to scratch that other one, the black chrome one. So I will be looking for a CC-01 body somewhere.
Well, you might be able to find some hard ones.
I haven't started looking, but when I do, I'll look for one. And almost done attaching these. And I think after, depending what's after, it might be building the shock. And I think I'll stop before building the shocks and do the shocks later. Who goes on tonight?
I don't know.
Friday night, who the heck goes on?
Well, it used to be Steve-O.
If nobody goes on tonight, keep your phone open. But if you might get an email around 9 o'clock, I might go on to keep on working on this and have an RC talk, but working on this at the same time. What motor and ESC are you going to use, Guru? That's a good question. What motor combo are you going to use on that Capra? There's a lot of choices out there.
And Hobby Wing is a good choice too.
They've been making a killing because a lot of people use their products.
Oh, I do all the time now. And they've proven their quality all now.
Yeah, they're way better than they were at the beginning. They had issues, but they fix it and everything's fine. But
it's probably the best electronic for RC out of China. You got to look at that. You got to look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're starting to take on Castle on their own turf.
Okay.
You remember, because of all the new electronics that can take high voltage and high C rating.
Okay. Hey, I'll see you next Tuesday. How are you doing? We're doing good. We're building a Tamiya kit here. It's a CC-02 kit that I've had for the past 2 years. So it's a little crawler truck, it's called. Oh, look at how much suspension I got. Hey, I can put like 200 millimeter shocks on it.
That would be funky. That would be funky, Frank. Who knows? Maybe someone makes a 200 millimeter shock for it.
I'm trying to like bend it that way. It seems to not want to bend that way, but this way kind of. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think I got this right, but Driveshaft here is going on an angle. But if it would have been flipped the other way, maybe I do have this backward.
Maybe you do.
No, if I look at it, it's fine. It is right like the picture. The ball, if you look at the way there's kind of a little bump here. And if you look at the drawing here, it shows the same thing. So the ball, the Driveshaft is on this side. So I do have it the right way. It's kind of weird. It's too bad they didn't put it on the other side, but I guess it makes sense because the front and the rear, because it's coming off the same the same transmission. This goes this way. So this is going to go the same way. So this has to go the different way, which means the axle has to be flipped for actually going forward. So I don't know if you understand what I mean. So if I turn this, the front wheel should also turn forward. And yes, it
Yeah.
does. So I'm turning this, and now the drive shaft are turning both the same way, but this one actually turns the right way also. So if I put something in there. Oh well, doesn't matter. I know what I'm, but everything is fine. Zoom, 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 zoom.
I can hear the motor.
Yeah.
You put the stock motor in it, didn't you? Not the 55 turn.
Yes, I did put the stock motor in there. And if ever I have to change the other one, I will. Okay. It's just the heat. My wife just walked in this room and it's friggin' hot. And she says, wow, it's ever hot in here. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. So what's the next step? I think it's building the shocks. Let's see if it is building the shocks. Yes,
Yep.
Step 33. So I'm not going to go through this today. So we're going to end this. So you can turn on your camera now, Brad. So everybody can see you. There you go. So we're going to end this here. So it's an hour and a half, not bad. So it is about 10 steps every 2 hours. Like it was 10 step on this one, but we're at 33. But it took us an hour and a half, so it went a little quicker. So the next step is going to be building the drive shafts, the shocks, and what else?
Oh, you forgot to put grease in the front diff.
Oh yeah, I got to take it apart. And I just installed it. That thing in there. So anyway, I gotta look into that. So installing the shocks, servo, and then attaching the servo and also slider plates for the front. They're rock sliders. We're almost done. And then electronics. So it's pretty close to done. And then we got to do the body, but that's probably going to be something else. So if we do go live tonight, I can do that quickly, do the shocks online while we're talking. And oh yeah, Friday night, we usually watch a movie with the family. So it might be later. We'll see.
What's later?
I don't know. I just realized we're doing family thing tonight. Every Friday night we watch a movie. So, and it's Star Wars. We talked about that earlier.
Yes. But you don't know what paint you're going to paint your body.
It's probably going to be silver, but I am going to try to do maybe a splatter, like a paint, as if it was attacked by a paint gun.
Uh-huh.
But I got a weight that I want to do very small splatter. And I think I figured how to do it. I just got to test it. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, you're going to be putting that CC-02 box up there like you did the CC-01.
If I'm going to be putting what?
You know how you have box covers behind you? You might as well put a CC-02 somewhere.
Yes, I will put the CC-02 there somewhere. I'll probably reorganize, like take this Eat Sleep RC out. There is a poster behind it, and only put it sometimes.
You could put the CC-01 and CC-02 together.
Mm-hmm.
To see where evolution has taken them.
Brian Taft says 550 motor will work in Capra with some grinding, with some, you got to grind something to make this 550 work.
I wonder if you could fit a 550 in a CC-02.
There's room for it. This should fit.
Oh, that's a
servos there. No, the motor mount. There's a mount in the front that's going to be in the way, so I don't think a 550 will fit.
Oh,
You do have to grind it up a bit. It's going to be close.
Don't forget,
There's no reason to put a 550 in here.
don't forget, Tommy makes a 33 or 35 turn that they put on their semis. That would be good for your work that you want this thing to do. Just to let you know, and that's rebuildable. I think it's rebuildable. At least I know you can change the brushes on it, which is a good thing.
Cool. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we're going to be closing this down. Oh, I can't put myself. Oh, maybe pin. Does that work online? I don't know. Wait a few seconds and see if it actually did pin me or not. Because usually when we're two, I cannot pin me, but I'm waiting for this live stream to actually catch up to what I'm doing right now. Anyways, doesn't matter. Guys, thank you very much for jumping in here with us in the chat. Earlier today, we had part 2. Now we did part 3 with Brad, which is very nice of you, Brad, to jump in. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And guys, go charge up some batteries and go out there and have some fun and break something. Because if you're not breaking anything, you're not having any fun.
And don't forget, there might be a 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we might go on tonight, but it all depends. We're watching.
All right.
So I might do it tomorrow. Tomorrow night might do it. It might be easier to do it tomorrow night for me.